Gen Z, we need to have a talk. Gen Z. You know, when I was growing up, I'm the oldest millennial. You're Gen X?
I am Gen X.
Gen X. Yes, I'm the oldest millennial. You're the youngest millennial. Yes. And you're the, I think, oldest Gen Z.
Yep.
All right, so we got a whole diversity of age and factors and
generations.
DEI, what's going on? And you're?
I'm 29.
She's a millennial, one of the younger millennials. So the point is, you know, I remember when millennials were coming up. I started my money show in 2016. It was millennials got to figure it out. Millennials this. Yo, millennials are in their 40s now.
Y'all getting old.
Okay? You're in their 30s and 40s.
How's that back?
So Gen Z, we're coming for you now because Gen Z's catching a lot of heat out there.
Yes.
Basically saying they're lazy, they're entitled, they don't love America, they're not willing to work, they're fragile. So I remember a lot of millennials were kind of dealing with some of these not so nice names, but now it's Gen Z's turn. And every generation kind of trashes the younger generation. But there's something different about this generation because why? What's different about generation? This is the first generation in world history, in American history, to grow up with one of these in front of their face nonstop.
24/7, yeah.
This thing. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? We're scrolling. Oh my God. It's a totally different game changer. So do older generations look down on younger generations? Yes. Do younger generations rebel against older generations? It's
always.
The tale as old as time. But something's up here. Something's up here. Now, it's a good thing. Is social media a good thing or a bad thing? Well, it's both. Technology a good thing or a bad thing? Well, it's both. But Gen Z, you got some explaining to do. So there's, you know, you're familiar with a DINK? We've heard these acronyms.
Dual income,
DINKs.
no kids.
Dual income, no kids. We did this last time.
Yes.
Then there was ding dogs. It was like dual income with a dog. And then it was like dual income. Or then it was single income, no kids. I'm like, you're just single, bro.
Yeah.
Like, all these acronyms.
No acronym for you.
You're just by yourself. You solo.
Alone.
Now there's a thing for Gen Z called NEETs. Now what is a NEET?
I don't know.
What is a NEET? And it's not because they're cleaning up their room and cleaning things up. NEET, 1 in 5 Gen Zers are classified as NEETs. NEETs are not in employment, education, or training.
Wow.
They ain't learning, they ain't working, they ain't hustling. What the hell are they doing?
Say it again.
Yeah. So
It's what?
NEETs, not in employment, education, or training. AKA,
Lazy?
you ain't doing shit.
Yeah, I was going to say. What are you doing?
Okay, what are you doing? 1 in 5, so 20% of Gen Z. What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Is it as a bad thing? So most NEETs, as they're saying, are opting out of the labor force because they're discouraged by their economic standing. Oh, times are tough. Oh, I'm not making as much money, so I'm just gonna sit here on my phone in my home and do jack squat. So there you go right there. Now, Matt, you've recruited, I mean, how many salespeople to PHP?
Tens of thousands.
Like thousands?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
What percentage in the last 5 years are 25 or under?
A very small percentage.
Okay.
Very small percentage. It's natural for people younger. And I say this tongue in cheek because when I got to the insurance industry, I was 23. But a lot of people that are younger than 25 don't really have the mental capacity for mature conversation with money because they're still starting to explore life. Usually when you buy insurance, usually when you start saving for the future is because you're looking out for somebody else outside of just yourself.
Right.
And it usually happens to be more 25 and above. Me, when I was 23, I was a single dad. That's why I got involved in insurance.
Oh, interesting. That makes
So
sense,
the ones that you have recruited, what's your experience with the 20-somethings out there?
The 20-somethings, because of the distraction of social media, they think getting rich is going to happen in the next 30 days.
I mean, you can't get rich quick? That's kind of why I got into this business. Can I get rich quick?
You know, if you keep working hard at it for the next 20 years, yeah, you can get rich quick.
There you go.
Right.
That's quick.
But you can make a lot of money. You can make I mean, we've got people that make 6 figures in a year or 2 or 3, but they want to make it in the next 6 months because they get distracted online about some 10-year-old reviewing toys. They're making 6 figures.
Right.
And they think it's you know, that fast. Or their friends are driving a Lambo and they're in their 20s without realizing there's some fakeness behind that too as well.
Right.
So they look at the end result without looking at the process, and that's what happens with a lot of 20-year-olds.
Yeah. It's, you know, I say this all the time, especially if you're a man, you got to understand that you're playing the long game.
That's right.
You said you didn't start making serious money until your late 30s. I mean, saying serious money.
Yeah, mid-30s, late 30s.
Right.
And I've been at that time for 10 plus years.
Right.
So,
and my story was when I was 25, I was my brokest friend. I was a jack of all trades, club promoter, nightlife stand-up comedian, trying to do this, trying to that, broke. By 35, 10 years into financial services, I became a millionaire. But it took me 10 years of putting in work.
That's right.
And men have to understand that they have the ability, whether they're tall or whether they're short, whether they're fat, whether they're skinny, whether they're big, whether they're not, whether they have friends or they're not, you can create your own destiny. And who you were in high school does not mean that that's who you're going to be in college. And who you were in college does not mean who you're going to be when you're 30. And who you were 30s does not mean who you're going to be when you're 40. So, you said that you were broke, military, no education,
Bankrupt.
no college. By 40, you were a millionaire.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
And men have to understand that they're playing the long game.
Yep.
And whether that's creating a job, whether that's sales, whether that's education, your time will come if you put in the work. And that's the biggest problem that I think that's going on right now. You know this guy, Scott Galloway?
I do.
Dr. Scott Galloway. We're going to pull up some of his stuff.
Yep.
He talks about
Very smart guy.
Oh, ridiculous. He talks about the most dangerous people in the world right now are lonely, broke men. Because they think that they're completely out of options. Well, they don't realize that if you play the long game, hey, listen, give it 5 years, give it 10 years. Good things will happen, but we've been indoctrinated into this microwave hustle society, and you think you're just going to get rich quick.
They're dangerous because they can recruit very good. They're the best recruiters.
For victim mentality,
Of course. Tell me, what would you rather do? Victim mentality, blame, and hide the shame because you don't want to get in the game? Versus outwork, out-improve, out-strategize, outlast. Which one's more attractive?
Of course.
Stay home.
But it's interesting what's going on with Gen Z, especially in America. I always say, get paid, get laid, and do it your way. A third of young people under 30 have not been laid in a year. They're not getting love on the social media apps and the dating apps on Instagram. They're not getting paid. 1/5 of them neats. Ain't nothing neat about that.
Yikes.
But they're doing it, quote unquote, their way, which is sort of victim loser mentality. Scott Galloway, a couple of videos from this guy, and I want you to get your perspective on this. Before you pull this up, Marissa, you're 25?
26.
26. So you're like basically the oldest Gen Z. What has your been experience with guys in their early to mid 20s? Is it, have you realized that they're capable? Is it, these kids are just, it's a little sad. How old's your boyfriend, by the way?
27.
He's 27, so you're dating up.
I'm so interested in her answer because I have twin girls that are 23.
Yeah.
Okay.
So please do tell.
So you have two girls. You have two girls that are
They're
Gen
23.
Z.
Yeah, Gen Z.
But specifically the men, what's been your experience with Gen Z men?
So I've been in my relationship for 3 years. So we met when we were, I've known him since high school, but we've been together since our early 20s. He's grinded every day since I met him. He works 6 to 7 days a week. He doesn't take time off. His business partner doesn't either. They are always hustling, doesn't matter what time of day. He is the rarity. So I think that's why we've had the
What's his name?
longevity we've had.
Jordan is my son's name.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, wow. Shout out to you, Jordan. Good job. Keep it up.
He comes
Maybe
up a
you should
lot on
dating
this
your son.
podcast.
No, he's 5.
Just kidding. So Jordan,
My God.
So he is the rare one. And I think that's part of why we've made it is because I think a lot of girls my age do date older just because there is that established work ethic or financial support. And I think that we've made it because I've watched him start from the, close to the bottom and hustle his way up. And he's not there yet. You guys said it, like, it's going to take 10 more years. And he knows that. But he's willing to put the work in. And I don't think a lot of people are. A lot of guys I meet my age. So I respect that about him a lot.
Thank you for standing by him. I can't tell you how important that is for a man.
Oh, yeah?
I can't tell you how important that is for a man to stand by it while a man is still broke. He's getting beat up on a daily basis. Everybody's telling him no. He's getting rejected by the world, but his girl stands behind him. I tell you, I tell you right now, you standing behind makes me want to run through a wall. So thank you.
Oh, that's
look
awesome.
at that. And they say that most women, they're opportunistic, right? They don't. There's a famous phrase out there that women don't. They stand at the finish line and choose the winners of the race. But it's very rarity for a beautiful woman to just stick by a dude and bet on him and have a guy with ambition. But ambition, I see this all the time, is one of the more attractive qualities that men have, that women find in men. Nat, we've had many conversations about ambition.
Yes.
Yeah. What is it about ambition that just do it for you?
I mean, ambition, that's a very important quality, because if you have that quality, you do it in all the things that you do in your life. It's not just work, if you have that drive, whatever it is that you're touching is going to also have that. I think today it's really easy to get caught up in the whole facade of having that drive and making it look like you're actually putting in work. But in reality, when you actually see a man build himself and you see him struggle a little bit and you see him kind of even break in some moments of how am I going to figure this out, that is so attractive when you make it out. If there's one thing, there's a saying in my family that you actually say a lot now, which is, we'll figure it out. Everything is, we'll figure it out, we'll figure it out, we'll figure it out. And I love that, because it's that sense of, okay, you're going to take lead and I'm going to follow, because you have that ambition and clarity, and that's all I need, So for me, that ambition, that hustle, it's required. It's an attractive quality that today it's easy to put on, but when you actually find that in people, you connect with them different. You can kind of even sense what's real and what's not real. So, ambition is a requirement, and it's a tool and skill everybody needs to have.
And I think it shows character, right? Like it shows that they are willing to push through the hard times. They're willing to. And that's just how they are as a person.
Yes.
Through relationship issues, through their own stuff. And that shows a lot to me also.
Yeah.
So there's a couple stories I want to just go rapid fire. By the way, do you have that article? Before you pull this clip, there's the Gen Z is fragile and difficult to work with article.
Yes, give me a second. Have it here.
Yeah, Gen Z really are the hardest to work with. Even their managers, their own generation, say they're difficult. Instead, bosses plan to hire more of their millennial counterparts. They're basically saying, listen, but here's what I know for sure. We did the last episode about you're going to live probably to 80, 90, 100. So get used to a 4-letter word called work and another 4-letter word called earn. And there's some of the best, and pray.
Is that true?
Here we go.
Because you're going to have to work. And, the 20-somethings out there that are basically like, I don't know, you're going to have to. It's inevitable. So just get used to it. Now, you can make the excuses. The kids that graduated college this year, right? 22-year-olds, let's say. They've had a tough go. Why? They entered college during COVID, right? And then they're leaving college during whatever the hell's going on today, Bidenomics. They've had a rough go. But, they say 80% of the people don't care about your problems, 20% are glad you have them. Nobody gives a shit. You got to figure it out. And that's ultimately what you're saying here. So they're calling them fragile and difficult to work with. Well, part of that is COVID, work from anywhere, work from home. I don't know. I don't need to come into the office. Well, the employer is going to tell me what I do. No, you're going to have to get your ass to work. Another thing is you're going to have to go outside. You talked about how you became a millionaire by going to conferences. There's a famous girl. She's called the Cash Me Outside girl. And here's the reality. Life, work, business, relationships doesn't happen on your phone. You're going to have to go outside and you're going to have to literally cash me outside. Now, here's Dr. Scott Galloway basically saying, if you're young, get the hell out of your house. Listen to this clip.
Home is for 7 hours of sleep, and that's it. The amount of time you spend at home is inversely correlated to your success professionally and romantically. You need to be out of the house.
Get out of the house. Nothing good in life happens on your phone. Now, we've been propaganda to everything. You can work from anywhere. You can do a Zoom, everything from home. Bro, when you met your girl, you met her in person.
That's right. Running my business.
Yes.
And she was running her business.
Yes. Even you meet someone on an app, you got to go meet up with them in person.
Right.
Just like, and respect to you, you made millions of dollars in conferences. That's literally how I made my name in the business.
That's right.
in whether it's financial services business, I was that dude showing up to business. That's how I met PBD. At a financial conference,
Now
two
look.
dudes working out in the gym. Hey, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm just here for this conference. Yeah, me too. He's like, by the way, you're doing your lats background. Okay, my bad, dude. What's going on? Like, that's how we met.
Right.
Everything happens outside of your phone. And for young people that think you can have it easy, just do it on Amazon and order some food and go on Tinder and order a girl or go on to any different app and order things happen. No, it doesn't work that way. Yeah. You got to get out there and you got to go make a difference. So, even in sales, back to this, how many of your sales guys are just running around all day?
Yeah.
It's kind of how it works, right?
Yeah, I mean, you might be connected on social media, you might be connected on your phone, but you got to be connecting, right? So you have to be in the process of connecting because you can't create culture. You can't create, there's like this conversation you have on text message and email, but there's nothing like having an in-person conversation with somebody. I mean, what would you rather do? Would you rather buy Jay-Z's CD or you want to go to his concert? Right? Would you rather just watch your club there in SoFlo? Just online, somebody FaceTime in, or be at your club, right? Because there's a vibe. Yeah. You're missing out on the vibe by not being in person with people, and that was a bad habit established by COVID. The work from home, stay at home, right? That worked because everybody was at home. Right. But if you really want to build a community, you really want to build a movement, you really want to make some connections and ask for referrals and get referrals, you got to be in person. Yeah,
there's a difference between social media and socializing. Yeah. Nat and I, every weekend, I was like, all right, Nat, we're going to go out there. I said, we're not partying. We are
networking.
We are networking.
Yes.
Right. We're getting numbers. We're talking to people. We're getting to we're meeting people. Like,
he's like, Nat, get the number. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And you're just meeting people because you can slide in the DM all you want until you sit with somebody. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? You joke, laugh. Like life happens IRL, in real life. So.
And the conversation is completely different in person than on your phone. Even that you can say something and the other person can get the message completely different.
Right. Based on your
because
mood.
It's just reading. It's not seeing your face. So I hate texting, having a real conversation. I call me or even just get together because you can read the message completely different than the way I wanted to, send it to you.
Yeah. And you can weed out a lot of distractions. You know how many people can portray themselves on the internet. Oh, I met this guy. He's got these great connections. And then you meet them. You're like,
no, the real connection is in
very
person.
Suspicious. I don't vibe with him. That's very important today.
Something fishy's going on here.
And it's important to have that in-person connection. And for those who don't go out, make sure that when you do go out, how do you present yourself? How do people get the energy from you? What do they perceive you as? That's important because you're going out to network, but people don't get a good vibe from you. Why would they want to network with you? There's something wrong with you. There's things you need to get better at. So just be mindful of the networking that you're doing and what you're portraying because when you're in person, that's the real game.
I'll say this, life is like a meal. Social media, DMs, Instagram, those are appetizers.
Yes, right.
Getting out there in real life, that's the main course, baby.
Come on, baby.
Enjoy your meal. 2 last stories. We're going to... Whoa. If you like that one, click right here to watch the full SOSCAST. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.